Alright, going to the next part of what we're doing. Got the bell ringer. First one you got, make sure it's on the Google Doc. Make sure you gotta share it with me. First one you're doing is number one. Would you rather stand for something you believe in and that will make a difference, or not stand for anything and allow things to stay the same? Explain in 46 sentences. I wouldn't do either of them. It's not an answer. Number two, would you rather help the hunger and homelessness?
You gotta have a four distinct things for
Yeah. So would you rather help hunger and homelessness in another country or help hunger and homelessness in the U.S.? Why not? 46 cents. Be like and truth be told, I probably should explain a little bit better. So not 4 and then 4 on 1, 4 on 2, but like in total, writing both responses would be 46 cents.
So 2 or
Yeah,
3
2 and
or.
3. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant, she was like asking for like.
No,
each question.
that's out 2 or 3. See, I got 5 minutes. Got the timer starting now. This will be considered, like I said, our warm up, like we normally do, each one, or each afternoon. You have 5 minutes. And again, this is independently done. Got 4 minutes left. Got 3 minutes left. Again, what would you stand for? What would you not stand for? We'll do like a mini discussion for you. Your participation will count towards any points needed for the test grade or quiz grade you got. So any kind of extra point for anybody that speaks up. Make sure you share this with me. Got 2 minutes left. Got 1 minute left. Again, you need 4 to 6 sentences, 4 to 3, 6 at the most. Make sure you have those. Make sure your sentences are in elementary form. C-spot run, they had food. Chill, he died. They fought in 700 CE. Make sure they are high school appropriate sentences. All right, now you can stop. The next part we are going to get into today is going to be our project form. Okay, so I'll let y'all kind of finish up from that point. Y'all get the benefit from what everybody else is getting today. Okay, from what they was getting, they had a lot of book work because the internet was not working. Before we move on, and I'll count it towards y'all group. Number 1, anyone from a group can get a point for everybody in the group. So if just one of y'all speak, and everybody else get a point for that too. Number 1, would you rather stand for something you believe in that will make a difference, or not stand for anything and allow things to stay the same? We would like to speak on that for just a couple of seconds. What you got?
I think it's better to stand for something that makes a difference, because you can benefit from that, but not standing for anything you can't benefit from.
You right. Make sure y'all email me that. Y'all got a response. So Brayden, you spoke, you make sure you email their names to me. Who else? Another one for number 1. We'll do 2 on each. Anybody else know? Yes.
I believe it's better to stand for something than believe in, because if you change something that's bad, it can be better.
You're right. So make sure you email everybody's names to me. I'll get y'all. All right, going number 2. 2 responses. We'll leave it from there. Would you rather help hunger and homelessness in another country, or help hunger and homelessness in the U.S.? What you got?
Another country.
You gotta speak up.
Another country.
Why is that? You got, why?
Because like USA, most people not want homeless like in Africa, because Africa people like they gotta drink dirty water and stuff, and people in USA don't got this.
What you got? Hey, hold on, wait. Make sure you put everybody's name in there so I can get it. They won't get the phone if you don't email. What you got? Last one.
A lot more countries got it or something. Some countries don't got clean water to drink or good clothes to put on. Some countries got more than they got.
Gotcha. Now, you already answered. Now, piggyback on everybody, make sure that you email me everybody's name so you get your point. Now, for me, pause for the first one. Would I rather stand for something or just kind of watch and let it all stay the same? No, I would stand for something. I don't believe in, I personally don't believe in things staying the same and not changing. If that was the case, we wouldn't be where we are today. Our country is built on change. If it weren't for that, we would not be here today. Number 2, would you rather have hunger and homelessness in another country or hunger and homelessness in the U.S.? Again, this is my personal belief, which is subjective. I would, for one, help here. The reason why I say it's subjective, all of Africa is not poor. It's not. All of Eurasia and all of Italy and Russia, all of it is not rich and famous. It's poor in slums. So some of the pictures you see in Africa are the slums, the ghettos. if you see Nigeria, if you see Uganda, if you see Ethiopia, those type of cities, you will see that they're highly advanced. Okay, just like the U.S. If you can see the worst part of Shelby, you can see the best part of Shelby. But if somebody want to be like, well, Shelby's a good town, they're gonna show the best part of Shelby. They're not gonna show the worst part. Or like, you don't know if people are homeless or whatever unless you go to Charlotte, unless you go to Atlanta, you go to New York, Chicago, Houston, even places in Missouri. Okay, but again, that's my personal belief. Okay, that's not on y'all, but give y'all my take on that one. All right, now going into the next part, which is why we are set up in groups like we are. Okay, we are getting ready to do
No.
a major project in a sense right before we get started with everything else. Okay, so what we doing? Okay, what I'm gonna hand out to you, and I want to say I got enough. If not, I pray the business. Alright, so this is how we're gonna do it. Okay, listen. I'm gonna have to make some more copies of these. Okay. Alright, so listen, this is what we got. You are about to do a project-based work today. Okay. This will be based off of the Chinese quick write you did yesterday, which you were supposed to do yesterday. There's a reason why I actually get the textbooks. I'm gonna tell y'all this in a minute. Using the information, okay, learn from your day 6 notes. You're gonna get everything compiled into one. Your learning objective today, the objective that you got, what's the reason for what we're doing? You're gonna use all the information you learned from day 6 notes, Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, and the Great Leap Forward to analyze how these events shaped China in the 21st century. Okay, in order to do this, while we're in the groups like we're in, and I want you to think about, okay, I'm gonna give y'all about a 1 minute deal to kind of figure it out. Give you 1 minute. I'm lying, I'll give you 2, I'll give you 2. Okay, here are the roles you gotta think about. You have to think about who's gonna be the researcher, okay? They are in charge of gathering information, provide specific examples related to the Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, and the Great Leap Forward. Also responsible for fact checking all information used in the presentation. Hence, on presentation. That's what I'm about to tell you. Writer, you are responsible for writing just 6 to 8 sentences analyzing the impact of these events on the 21st century in China. You're also responsible for proofreading the entire presentation content. Okay? So again, when I had you do the Chinese quick write yesterday, it was a setup for today. Those of y'all that did it. Number 3, a visual designer. You are to create visual aids to support the analyst. This could be a timeline, infographic, or any other visual representation. Also responsible for the aesthetic layout of the presentation. This is on presentation. Finally, the presenter. Your job is to present the group's analysts to the class. Also responsible for coordinating the group's rehearsal of the presentation. Hear what I'm about to tell you. If you have a desire to present, you should present. If you have an issue with presenting, do not select to be the presenter. But, do somebody have to present? Yes, you do. This is 20% of your grade. This is a project grade. If you choose not to present, you will lose all of that points. You don't get half because you did the work you did present. No, it don't work like that. Somebody got to present. Now, why is this important? Because the last project we're doing in the genocide, you have to present that one. You do not receive full credit. You do not. You do not receive full credit. Does that mean we get half? No. Half to me is you get 0. That's just what they end up being. Okay. But that's what you're choosing at this point. So what I'm gonna give you about 2-3 minutes to decide who is gonna be the researcher, who's gonna be the writer, the visual designer, and the presenter. Your 2 minutes start now. Make sure you talk good. You got 2 minutes. 3 minutes.
You don't have that much.
No, that's mine.
You said?
I'll give you this.
No. Okay. Why don't you double away? No, I'm done.
I think it's out of ledge.
You guys remember?
You can hear it when you finish it.
Alright. Time is up. Now, let me explain your roles. The researcher, you are designed and you are in charge of doing all your research based off of the book that you just got, the notes I'm about to hand out to you from what you did. They're fully completed, so you don't have to look those up, along with any other research you kind of figure out online. But again, everything you need in the notes. You look this stuff up, you will be wrong. Hear what I'm telling you about the researcher. You have the information I'm about to give you between the book and the notes. Okay? Now, the writer. Your job is to take down every bit of material that is given to you by the researcher. You are to write down the key points of a timeline, key dates, key people, who made an impact, why was this timeline important compared to the other one. That is your job as a writer. The visual designer. Now, let me say this, as the writer, you are to proofread everything you put down, which means if there is a grammatical error in your deal, points will come out. Okay, points will come out drastically. Now, visual designer. When it says you are to create visual aids, which means if you choose to use Canva, if you choose to use Google Slides, stuff of that nature. What you are going to first do before you get into it, the first 20 minutes as a visual aid, you are to draw a visual description of what is going to be first. That is your rough draft. You will put this all together tomorrow. Now, there's going to be a point to where I'm going to stop. Listen, there's going to be a point within the 30-minute block of you doing this, 30 to 20 minutes. I am going to stop and I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask the researcher questions, which means this. If the researcher gets the question correct, what you think is going to happen? You get a point, okay? So again, you will send me those guys' names or those girls' names who are in your group if the researcher gets the question correct. I will say pause, listen to the question. Now, if you're in the midst of talking and I'm giving the question, then you'll end up missing it. But that's what we're going to do as far as for the research. But if you are a visual aid person, I want to see your best drawing description of what it's going to look like. Anytime an architect builds a building, a structure of any kind, he got to first design it on paper. You don't have paper, or you don't have like a graphic tool. So you're going to draw it on paper. Then you will put it on Canva, or you'll put it on Google Slides. So whoever the artiste visual designer, you will draw it first, write everything down, then you will put it on Canva. We won't do Canva until probably tomorrow. But I need your rough draft of that today. Finally, the presenter. The presenter is presenting the group's analysts to the class. You're responsible for coordinating the group's rehearsal of the presentation. Not just that, you are fully in charge of what happens in your group. You're not gonna ask me if, hey, does this look good, that look good, should we put this, put that? Nope, that's the presenter. The presenter's in charge. Okay? That's what that comes down to. So however it look, it's on the presenter. Now, here's the thing. If the presenter does not present it like it's supposed to, the presenter will lose 5 points.
Just the
Just the presenter. Just the presenter. Now, if he or she present information and it wasn't given out according like it was supposed to, then everybody else around them would lose 2 points. So that's how that works. So if the presenter say, the people in my group did not give me enough information to explain what we are doing, then the rest of you get 2 points off. But again, the presenter is the main focus in it. Why? Because they're presenting all the material. All you have to do is just stand up there and look pretty. Keep your mouth closed. Let them present. Now, if you have 3 people, then obviously somebody got to have 2 jobs. And I would be cautious about who do what. It's going to be hard for you to be the presenter and researcher or the presenter and visual designer. Because the visual designer has to do that. The researcher has to look up information. At best, what you can do, the presenter and the writer can be the same person. That's if you're in a group of 3. Okay? Do everybody understand that? Now, before I go further, I'm gonna pass out the rubric and everything else to you. Okay, so I'm only gonna get 1 for each group. So on there. Come on, look at that.
I've got a question, sorry.
I ain't got an answer. Alright, so now, what I'm about to hand out to you is the note. These are the day 6 notes. They already got the answers in them. You don't have to look in your deal to look them up. You already got it. So all you have to do is go through, do everything you gotta do, and go from there.
So is this what we use for research? Alright, well, we're gonna move it on.
Alright, real quick, listen up, listen. Get too loud, listen. Alright, so what I'm about to read off, okay? What I'm about to read off is a full-out summary about what you're doing, okay? The China's transformative history, okay? Again, this is what we went over already as far as the day 6 notes, but I got it kind of in the full paragraph form, about 6 paragraphs worth. So just bear in mind what we got going on. Okay, China has experienced significant changes throughout the 21st century, largely influenced by key events such as the Chinese Revolution and the leadership of Mao Zedong. The events have shaped the country's trajectory and continue to impact the development of today. The Chinese Revolution, which took place in the early 20th century, marked a turning point in China's history. It was a period of intense political and social upheaval as various factions vivid for power and influence. This revolution ultimately led to the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949, with the Communist Party taking control of the government. Mao Zedong was a prominent figure during this time, playing a crucial role in shaping China's future as the leader of the Communist Party. He implemented numerous policies and incentives that aimed to transform China into a socialist society. One of the most notable endeavors was the Great Leap Forward, an ambitious economic and social campaign launched in 1958. The Great Leap Forward sought to rapidly industrialize China and increase agricultural production through collectivization and communal farming. However, the campaign had disastrous consequences leading to the widespread of famine and economic decline. Millions of people lost their lives due to starvation and other related causes. making it one of the darkest chapters in China's history. Despite the immense human suffering caused by the Great Leap Forward, Mao Zedong remained a revered figure in China. Revered figure, excuse me. His leadership and ideology continued to shape the country's policies even after his death in 1976. Today, China stands as a global economic powerhouse, but it still grapples with the legacy of these events. The Chinese Revolution and the era of Mao Zedong have left an incredible mark on China's history and continue to shape its present-day reality. From the establishment of the People's Republic of China to the disastrous consequences of the Great Leap Forward, these events have had far-reaching implications for the country and its people. As China moves forward, it must confront its past and strive to learn from the mistakes and success of its people. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna hand this out to each group. This is the same thing I just read off to you, okay? You will have this with you as well. Now, what we're gonna do, like I said, for the first about 20 minutes, you are to close your Chromebook. For the first 20, you are going to, on paper, design, talk, and discuss about what took place. The researcher is gonna do that part, as well as the writer's gonna write down what's important to them,
You better.
based off of the information. Yes, y'all will need paper, y'all will need everything possible to kind of get this done. Did I give you one? Did I get one? Did I get one? Small.
Yes, sir.
I got that.
I know, like, can't break yourself from the
Nope. Because when I came up in school, all I had was notebook paper. Y'all use notebook paper. Alright. So again, listen. Last thing, I'm gonna let y'all get to it. You will see on the back of this printed out sheet, some of y'all looking at it, you will see exactly what I'm asking for each one. Now, you'll see the point mark. Number 3, number 2, number 1. Number 3 meets expectations, all the way to number 1 and 0, as far as missing or mostly does not meet expectations. Okay? You will see the content accuracy, the analysis of it, the visual aids, and the presentation. Again, your objective, your responsibility. Listen, your responsibility is to use the information that you learned from day 6 notes. The Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, and the Great Leap Forward, to analyze how these events shaped China in the 21st century. So in your 6 to 8 sentences, listen, in your 6 to 8 sentences, your job is to analyze how these events shaped China in the 21st century. Now, when you look it up in the book, you're gonna look it up in the table of contents. In the table of contents, you will see in there that it will be in the cultural China. It's gonna be a different name than what you see on there. But it's definitely gonna be after World War II. So you're gonna look at the table of contents. Okay. Now, like I said before, researcher, you have all the research. The writer, your job is to write 6 to 8 sentences based off the information you get about how these events shaped China in the 21st century. Okay? The visual designer, while they're doing that, your job is to design how your presentation is going to look via Canva or Google Slides. That is your responsibility. Last but not least, the presenter. Your job is to coordinate the whole presentation, which means you're going to make sure that it goes a certain way. You will approve what goes on. You'll approve what the slides look like. You'll approve how fast you're going to go, what you're going to talk about. If the information is correct, what you're going to go off of. Okay? Anybody have any questions? All right, you got 20 minutes.
Are you able to do like a presentation of one of only like a certain one of these?
No, you got to do it on all of them.
All 3 of them?
All three. All three. Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, and the Great Leap Forward. You got 20 minutes. So at 2:30, we're going to reconvene with this.
Yeah. You want me to be this guy? Or do you want me to be right? I'm just for so far.
If you wanna know how many slides you need to ask your presenter.
One. Well, actually, how's this? We'll see how many sites we need after we get all the information. Which is a better idea, so we can get just enough slides and we'll look too big. I don't think you're not allowed to get on the computer here. Nobody is. Only you. Are you gonna use Canva or are you gonna use?
Make sure you use table content.
Japanese army occupied.
I know what I'm saying.
I mean, it really doesn't
say
say
that.
It's just whichever's easier.
Does it have to say that? I'm finna start.
Disability and death toll is estimated. Just give stuff for pay attention. Disability and death toll is estimated to be 10 to 22 million. China
Anyways,
they were literally getting flat.
you're on the page, right?
They say that.
We'll just write it down. Or what page is
Again, all you really need to look at now, the book is just additional. The notes is gonna tell you what's going on as far as timeline and everything else. Again, you need 6 to 8 sentences. Remember, the objective is to analyze how these events shape China in the 21st century. That's what you gotta look up and see.
No, how did it shape?
We're not talking about the fact that they had a good comeback, we're talking about how it shaped it.
It shaped it to be eight, oh my God.
Rebuilding a city in a short amount of time isn't how we did. You need to be in that one class where they already
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, you're researching, so you're reading, and then you give me this part, and I filter through that.
What do you think is the most
So all the comments people they use the pen first to be working.
So that's all you meant.
So like they promote
They also
knowledge.
did it
Like
Yeah,
they
it's
also
like filters, so you need to filter. So basically, you still have it. I'm just saying.
But, hasn't said that yet.
All right, here we go. First question. First question.
I'm literally reading it.
Number one, and only the presenter can talk. What, oh no, I'm sorry. The researcher. What were the consequences of the Great Leap Forward? A, increased agriculture or production with economic growth. B, widespread famine and economic decline. C, improved living standards and social equality. Or D, political stability and international recognition. Shavis, what you got? Huh? Yeah, that's correct. Y'all gotta keep up with it, not me. Hey, number two, listen. Number two, who played a crucial role in shaping China's future during the Chinese Revolution? D, various factions. Hold on, put your hands down, let me see. Nope, just wait. A, Mao Zedong. B, Communist Party. C, People's Republic of China. D, various factions. Go.
Hey.
Yes, Mao Zedong. Okay. Hey, you gotta put it down so I know. If y'all don't put it down, I don't know. Number three, the last one for this part. When did the Chinese Revolution take place? A, early 20th century. B, late 20th century. C, 19th century. Or D, 21st century.
The last one.
What's the last one?
20.
Oh, which one?
20.
Okay, you got it. All right, y'all go back to working. The next ones I ask y'all, you got to speak. You got to really talk. Next ones I ask. All right, number one, the short answer. Listen. What were the key events that influenced the significant changes in China throughout the 21st century? Research. Y'all got to that point yet?
What was the question?
The question is, what were the key events that influenced the significant changes in China throughout the 21st century? What you got?
Oh, they got technology.
No, it's on there. Go, Liz.
China started working with the communists.
Okay. What up? That was only one key event. What's another?
And they were led by Mao Zedong.
What else happened?
And it started expanding to India and stuff.
He got a few.
And
Braden, help him out.
So, it turned to communism, and there was a high death toll of 10 to 22 million people. So they so basically,
Like you the researcher, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And they feared the domino theory, which was the idea that communism would spread. Well, the U.S. feared the theory that communism would spread to other countries. But
I'm gonna get both of y'all. I mean, he was on here, but you went to the day 6 minutes. I see what you were doing. Make sure y'all tell me which one got the point. Okay. Make sure y'all put your name on there. Alright, number two. Listen, number two. What was the outcome of the Chinese Revolution? What was the outcome of the Chinese Revolution? Yes.
They died.
What did it die from? What caused that death? What you got?
No, wait.
Starvation of family.
See, I was gonna say that. You didn't give me a chance.
You said too many times. Alright, hit number three. Remember now, you gotta remember your point. What were the consequences of the Great Leap Forward? I gotta get it Brady.
oh shoot, hold on. So
you must be ready.
there was the Great Leap Forward, and the consequences was didn't that lead to the famine that killed like 2 million people?
Tell me.
No, it did. I remember that in the notes. I was reading the notes yesterday.
So tell me.
So yeah, it led to a widespread famine that ultimately it was a step backwards. The Great Leap was a step backwards in reality. It said that.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I got 3 points.
Alright, open-ended questions. Open-ended questions. How do you think significant events in your life have shaped your trajectory and impacted your development? Now, here's what I'm about to tell you. If you desire to go personal, that is your choice. I'm not telling you to go personal. You can be on top of it as far as you want to. Now, if you want to get more personal into it, that's you. It's an open-ended question. So again, I'll tell you again. How do you think significant events in your life have shaped the trajectory and impact of your development? I give you an example as far as mine, okay? Mine, if it hadn't been for me watching my brother play football, I wouldn't have played football. I'd have been in the band, I'd have done something else. I wouldn't have played football. I'd have went in the military. Yeah. Oh no, you gotta be research. Well, you know, yeah, you gotta be research. She raised her hand first. Go ahead.
If it wasn't for my sister, like.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If it wasn't for her playing track, I never would have tried out. Like,
That's right. That's amazing, man. What you got? Alright, make sure you put your point down.
So
If it wasn't for this one dude that stole my food, I wouldn't learn that you can't really trust anybody.
Okay. What you got, bro?
So if I would have never met my dad's side of the family, and say all the men in that family did wrestling, I would have never done wrestling.
Cool. Yeah, put your points down. Now, last one. Last one I'm gonna ask and let y'all get back to what you was doing. Okay. Alright. Last one. Y'all got 8 minutes after this. Last one. Again, this is another open-ended question. So again, you can go as personal as you want or not. There's no frame of anything. But reflect on the time when you or someone you know faced challenges or made mistakes. How did these experiences shape your perspective and actions moving forward?
So I had a very close friend, I'm not gonna say his name, but he went down a very bad path with drugs. And he got in a lot of trouble for it, and that shaped me to not want to do drugs.
Good. Keep your point down. What you got?
What?
So, someone in my family.
Yeah, let's talk.
went to jail doing something.
So that shaped your life?
Yeah.
Khalil, go ahead.
Back when we was living in the country and didn't have really any money, that just made me feel like you should really appreciate what you got.
Yeah, put your point down. Anybody else? You got no? Okay, what's good? Go ahead, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, I tripped over my shoe. That's a
Yeah,
problem.
no, yeah, I'm not doing that. Where's your number? That's mine. Let's back up. All right, anybody else in that question? Anybody else in that question? Anybody else? All right, I got about 5 minutes left. Hey, you got 5 minutes. Hey, at the 5-minute mark, I need to see your visual aid. I need to see the drawing. I need to see the draft portion of what you're doing for your project. I also need to see the development. I need to see the development of your citizens. Hey, listen. Also, whoever doing what on the list, you have the list right there in front of you about the presenter, visual aid, all that good stuff. Make sure you put your name beside who's doing what. Put your name beside who's doing what.
We got it right there. We got 3
Yeah, make sure you picture for the presentation.
Trying to what?
Figure it out.
I just know how to do
So
my
with
job.
me doing it, right, do the research.
Yes. Yes.
Any more?
I need to see a rough draft. I'll let y'all open up and get started on the computer.
I forgot how to use Canva, so I don't know. Just write down how it would look, kind of. What pictures would you add? Chinese flag, write that down. Alright.
Shut up for me. I gotta see what y'all doing first. Make sure you have a rough draft. Hey, it could be a timeline, it could be a picture. I need to see a rough draft for your drawing, of your notes. I need to see all of it.
Red background. It looks like the Chinese flag, honestly, but just the six like kind of became communist.
What is Mao Zedong like? Zedong. Oh, that's kind of what I was thinking in my head. That's kind of
Right, alright.
For the timeline. Alright, right? Draw like a timeline first, like, oh, you already got it. Alright, put, what happened first? Education, right? Communism.
Yeah, one of them.
I mean, you could basically just write the guys, we're not. Yeah. Communists.
Make sure on your visual aid, you have a detailed description about what's gonna be on that side. Like draw it and then put beside what it's gonna be. Like that. Hey, so look, hey, here's an example. I'm gonna use Braden as an example. Alright, something like this for your visual part. This would be the same areas you would if you was an architect and you was gonna do a draft type deal. You already know. If you're gonna do a draft type deal, this is what you would do. But it would be on a computer. You have to draw it out, detail and all that stuff. I ain't asked you to kill cancer in this sense, but I want you to draw out what you got.
Is Canva like Google Docs, or is it like slides? So it's just Google Docs with slides. Alright, so basically, first you're gonna have a picture in the top right corner, and then you're gonna have the writing in the top left corner. On top of the writing, you're gonna put 21. I was thinking more of okay. So it's like Google Docs.
Alright, hey, it's 2:30. As I come around, I need to see 3 things, but really 2. I need to see your sentences of what you're doing so far, and I need to see your visual aid.
Maybe that.
I need to see a rough draft of it now. As I come around.
Down here. The picture up here. And maybe depending, it doesn't matter, but anything can go there. Well, we got China 1 against the Allies in
What was
World
the
War
right?
2 and World War 1.
Who's
How they like
the
that.
right?
No, we can.
So you're the right.
I put China became communist and were led by Saddam.
Who's the dark and light? Who's the researcher?
And communists won the peasant revolt. Therefore, 80.
You said it's right. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's all I didn't say. They said real fast. Reading out.
With Saddam.
With the right.
Yeah, but I know, but you can make like a zoom in, yeah, like this. You could do that.
That's fine.
Draw Saddam right here.
I see the picture.
Just emphasize that is Saddam.
No, that's fine. As long as you're starting, I'm good. Again, get as much
It's Z
done
Dom.
as possible.
Promoting literacy and food production. Even though it didn't work out, did it? Is he communist or who promoted it?
You can do you've been working on that since third grade.
Promoted.
Should make sure you have your hand.
Did
She probably think we're not Yeah.
but didn't work out, right?
Series used to be all on the page.
Yeah, sitting in the crowd. Like I just got done right.
You can't go outside to the
Can't eat. Again, make sure you have some visual aid and some visual points.
My G!
I'm just trying to get
At about 2:35, I'm gonna ask one more question. One more question.
no, but obviously Alright, oh no, intro. Pick is intro. What is intro? And
It's all info.
yeah, but where's room for subject? Yeah, I know, but subject is like communism. China, like you know what I'm trying to say. Kind of like right here on top. Yeah, like this, that. Yeah, right there. Okay, they're just searching. Alright, looks good, looks good. Let's try to get 5 or 6 pages. Yeah. Get like 5 or 6 up. Is that fine with you? And that's only 3, so like, we're doing pretty good. You got it? 1949.
This one, ma'am.
Oh, Saddam. It's just Saddam. Gain control. What country? Just China in general? China. And what did you do?
No, I can't.
115. So this one just started. Really? You probably don't need this thing. Okay. But I'll still what you like. Just
Alright, last question.
give them.
I'll let, one, two, three. I'll let 3 people answer. In what ways can leaders like Mayor Zidane influence the future of a country or community? And how does this relate to your own experiences? Hear what I'm saying? Listen, you have to tell me a leader like Mayor Zidane that can influence the future of the country and or the community, along with how does this relate to your own experience? You raised it first.
So if a leader is super good or really bad, it can affect it long term.
What kind of leader?
Oh, like, so, not a good example, but Hitler, he was a very bad leader, and like, people still remember him in that way even after he died, as like an example of like what not to do.
I'll give you that. Keep that up to your point. What you got?
A leader like like he gotta be a leader.
Yeah. But just a leader period. Well, it gotta be a significant leader, not like Muhammad, no, not, well, you can go that way.
He led in a good way. He lead peacefully, all his charisma, and good talking with other people.
I give you that. Keep your point now.
So Hitler,
Yeah, talk about it. You gotta know somebody else.
we gotta talk about him.
You gotta talk about it. Fine.
Wait, you're talking about Hitler?
So what else you got? What else you got?
I got Martin Luther King.
You already said that. All right, one more.
That's not it.
It don't matter who it is.
George Washington.
Abraham Lincoln.
He freed the
He was a
slaves.
really good guy. They left him in jail, and he did good things for the country.
Yeah.
Point, yeah.
All right, hey, so that last point. 2 people can answer this one. How does this relate to your own experiences with being under a good leader?
They
How does this, I gotta quit talking and listen. How does this relate to your own experiences being up under a good leader? You raise your hand.
They influence us to do better in the future as our president self.
So what leader helped you to do better than your present self? Why is that? Why you choose him? Why help you do
That
better?
wasn't in the
Listen, the question was, what ways can leaders like Mayor Zidane influence the future of a country or community, and how does this relate to your own experience? So, your question and answer. Your answer is what? You mentioned Mayor Zidane, so you.
he influenced me
How did he influence you?
by doing better, not
I'm sorry, I just talked with you.
Mr. Dow, did you read it?
Yes.
What good did he do?
Oh.
There you go.
Never mind. Can I get a
Abraham Lincoln persuaded people and freed from the slaves. Really persuaded me to do good. Protect the little people.
Sure. What you got, Brady?
So, a way that, I mean, it don't sound like it, but a way Hitler has helped our country. Listen. And in World War II, soldiers of the U.S. saw how Jews were getting treated, and they came back to segregation and were like, this is kind of like what was happening there, so we kind of got to stop this. And that's one way the segregation kind of stopped, because the soldiers came back, and they realized what was going on. It kind of.
That's one
Let me
way.
see how you're contributing.
That's That's one way.
Look at that beautiful picture, man.
Alright, y'all finish up. Give y'all about 10 more minutes.
Do I get a point?
Yes. Come on, done. We're at 10 more minutes. Finish up. 10 more minutes.